Well, did you see another movie?
I did. We continued the mermaid trend. I watched The Shape of Water.
Ooh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a Guillermo del Toro film. Came out a couple years ago. I think it won an
Oh,
Academy
wow.
Award.
Oh, wow. It must be really cool then. Well, I like him as a director. He's very unique in how he perceives his stories and storyline, and even how he ends certain movies.
Very different than Splash, even though it was also a romance film. But it
Well,
tonally it was so different. First of all, it's a period piece, and that was actually I think my favorite part about it. It's set in Cold War like Baltimore.
oh, wow.
Yeah, a
Okay.
very interesting time period, and the set design and the costuming was just perfect for it. You completely were transported to that time. I It was
Oh,
amazing. So
nice.
this woman who's mute, she can't speak. She's a cleaner at this sort of marine research center. So she just cleans. She's like a maid, and she's in a team of maids. And she's there when they bring in a creature from like South America that's basically a merman. And
Oh, wow. Okay.
it's about her kind of falling in love with him. And they have this very, without words, because he can't speak and she can't speak, but they have sort of this silent but very very poignant romance.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, it's very cool. And on the back, the other thing about it that I really enjoyed was in the background there is this United States versus the Soviet Union conflict, and there's like Soviet spies in the Marine Research Center that wants to steal it from the Americans, and so then the Americans versus the Russians, there's like a tug of war in the background there. There's also the fact that some of the scientists don't want to kill it, and some of the military does, and there's that pull and
And
push.
I want to dissect it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So the background stuff was really fun about that. I think my favorite, there's this sequence where her attempts to save him versus the Russians' attempts to deal with the Americans versus the Americans that are all happening at the same time, and those like contrasting plots overtop each other was very fun. That was probably my favorite sequence. It
Wow.
was it was very fun.
It's hard to layer that and make that coherent.
Yeah.
So, well, he's such a great director. So it must have been parts that were just absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it was very darkly
Watch.
beautiful, very it
Right.
had a very specific tone, it had very specific visuals. It definitely transported you into the world it was setting up. The antagonist, now I have complicated feelings about the antagonist. Like he starts out very nuanced. Like the way he's portrayed I really liked, where he was just he started out as very rude, but like in that kind of rude that's difficult to combat because it's only like it's slightly too rude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right? Very
Right.
very self-righteous and whatnot. But
Right. Right.
as the story goes on, the level of nuance just tanks. He and like it's
So
freak.
he was that way all the time. He was just
No,
barely hiding it.
no, no. I wish. I think that they really oversold it. I wish they had
Oh,
been a little
okay.
more subtle. Because once they set him up as a psychopath, you don't have to keep making him do psychopathic things. It's like you've already set it up. You don't need him to kick puppies. It's kind of like that, right?
Oh, so they had.
They
Hey,
went.
we need another kick puppy scene. Okay. Okay.
You
No, we
didn't
don't.
you
Right.
didn't need it, and we spent too much time with him. Honestly, I wonder if they just they needed extra scenes to get a big name actor to sign on to it. because there's a couple scenes that just didn't were very unnecessary.
Who played that part?
Oh shoot, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, he's not that big of a name. Okay.
There was a bunch of scenes of him, his home life and his wife and his kids that we didn't need to know. We did not. It did not add to the story. It was just for some reason it was there, and I'm like, no, like why are all these scenes here? It just, I don't know. It was weird. Besides that, I thought it was a very cool movie, very interesting. The ending is ever so slightly confusing. Basically, there's a reveal about the protagonist that I think goes over some people's heads. It's a little too subtle at the end.
Oh, I see.
I know they wanted to be subtle about it. They didn't want to be over the top, but they kind of needed to at least make it clear what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
that could have been done better. Also, I didn't really like the narration. There was only narration at the beginning and narration at the end, and I don't think any of it needed to be there, personally. Overall, I liked it, and I think you'd enjoy it just because it was beautiful in that dark way. That's very fun.
Oh, I love that.
And it's also set in Baltimore, or sort of around Baltimore. I don't know. I liked that setting. It was fun.
Well, he has that sort of beautiful yet dark quality. Not quite as gothic as Tim Burton, but he does have that, and it's very beautiful, especially in his movie Pan's Labyrinth.
I still haven't watched it, but it's on the list.
Oh, you need to move that up on the list. Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch it, Mom, because it was told me it was too scary, and I wasn't allowed to watch it growing up.
Well, when you were little, yes, but now you can't. You have my permission to watch it.
All right, well, I got to that.
Okay, well, I'm glad you watched that one, and so I will talk to you soon, sweetheart. You have a great day, and give Molly a scratch behind the ears for me.
Oh, I will.